without any further ado, here is the magnificent, the irreplaceable, our next door neighbor, our teacher, our friend, Tiffany Tamaribuchi. Thank you,
Yay,
Sensei, for
so
joining
good to
us.
be here. I have a few things prepared today, and I actually wanted, because you said it was okay to do some sort of audience participation-y stuff, what I'd like to do is have everybody learn a little bit about the movement for Hana Hachijo or Hachijo daiko, which I'm not sure if you guys have done today because I haven't been able to follow along with the program so far. And one thing I'd hope everybody could do is go ahead and stand up as you're watching. I'm gonna give you a short little taiko lesson. The first thing I want you to do is to find your center of gravity on your heels. And what you're wanting to do is go from the top of your head through down your neck, down your vertebrae, down your spine, into where your shoulders are. You're gonna open your arms out and open up your chest and let your lungs expand. And you're gonna drop that weight down through your spine towards your tailbone, into your hips, down towards your ankles. And let your knees flex gently in the direction of your toes. And as you're sitting in this position, or gently sitting down in this position, relaxing your body, what I'd like you to do is to gently, gently bring your feet out slightly, left and right, and to let your knees continue to flex towards your toes. And again, drop your tailbone down, drop your hips down towards your ankles, and open it up and gently breathe in and out and in and out. And bringing your arms up towards your chest, I'd like you to find your shoulder blades behind you. And so we're going to actually fold our shoulders back towards our spine so you can find that space in between your shoulder blades here, because that's kind of where I want you to think about your movement starting from there, and then further down your back into your lower back and into your belly. We're going to set our center of gravity and our presence of mind into our belly and into our lower back, down into our hips. We're going to drop down again, and finding our shoulder blades behind us, we're going to bring our arms up over our heads and just let them fall at an angle from the top right, or your left, but my right, down. And we're going to let arms swing up and then come back up the other way. So again, starting from the top right, arms are going to drop down and swing up again. And again, as you're doing this, what I want you to do is feel for your back engaging. Feel for the weight of your arms falling towards your elbows. And we're making a nice sweeping motion. That's very easy, sort of like the wind, sort of like water. And in this style of drumming, I'm going to demonstrate just a little bit, is from Hachijo Island off the coast of Japan, Tokyo, I can't remember the word, the Izu Peninsula, there it is, the Izu Peninsula off the coast of Tokyo. If you take a 13-hour to 17-hour ferry ride out, you get to this small couple of cinder cones out in the middle of the ocean. And actually, even in the middle of winter, it's a semi-tropical place that is very warm. There's hibiscus flowers and lots of greenery. And you have the island of Hachijo, where back in the 15, 16, 1700s, they used to send political prisoners and common thieves and criminals. And what would happen is they would row them out in these boats and sort of leave them there. And the people who had already been left on the island would come and take whoever was dropped off in, because you can't survive on this island alone. The only drinkable water is rainwater. The area around the island is very dangerous, and there's very little arable land for people to live off of. So they would gather together. It didn't matter who you were. It didn't matter what your background was. Everybody came together. And in explaining this piece, when we went to visit the Hachijo daiko Rakokai and the Getsuyokai, the two of the groups that play there on the island, what they said was, because they didn't have TVs and radios and movies and all the things, this is what they used to do to party and have fun. So whether it was a wedding or any other kind of celebration, a big harvest, a big catch, they would actually, everybody would stand up and play, and people get up. It's kind of like going to a karaoke bar, and everybody sort of gets up and plays their sort of version of it. It's a simple pattern, simple set of patterns that are played over one of 3 backbeats. I don't have a jikata person with me today, but I'm going to play some of the basic rhythms. The movement that we started with, this nice waving movement, is sort of the basic movement that starts the opening piece that is, or the opening rhythm pattern that is most commonly played. Su do don sto don. Su do don sto don. Su do don sto don. Very easy. Do don do don. It's like swinging your arms left and right, left and right. So that as I'm playing, if you would like to sort of swing along, find that rhythm with me. I hope you enjoy it. That's a really brief demonstration, again, of Hachijo style of drumming. One of the really wonderful things about traveling to Japan and studying with so many different people is sort of getting the sense of the feeling of matsuri, the feeling of festival spirit. And it's something that's very important to me as an artist and as a taiko player, to sort of connect people to the humanity that is at the core of what we're doing, the history, the culture, the traditions, which in modern practice can sometimes get lost in favor of the percussiveness, the coolness, really intricate sort of technical percussive work. People very often when they're studying really want to do things that are challenging and exciting and fast and cool. And yes, I do enjoy that too, but it's also important to have a sense of where we're grounded. The next thing I would like to do is to play a little bit of Odaiko for you. You see back behind me, and I'm gonna move this one drum out of the way. Back behind me is an Odaiko. The Odaiko that you see here was made by the Asano Taiko company from Ishikawa Prefecture in Hakusan City, Japan. The company was founded in 1609, so over 400 years they've been making taiko and supporting taiko drummers like me. I'm very fortunate enough to be able to train and play with this drum, partly because I won an Odaiko competition in Japan in 2002, and the Senmu, the managing director, said, well, there's this Odaiko in the United States and you're an Odaiko player, so if you could take care of it for us, we'd appreciate it. This drum is the largest drum of its kind in North America, a single-bodied drum made of babinga wood. Traditionally, taiko are made out of keaki, but this particular drum, to get trees of this size, they have to go into the jungle in West Cameroon, and they'll first send a party of about 20 or 30 people to go find and mark the tree. So they go, walk into the jungle, they pick the tree that they're going to take down, and they'll come back with 60 to 100 people later and just take this one tree down. And they're supposed to do it without damaging any of the trees around them. They'll take this tree down, they'll bring it out piece by piece in large enough pieces that they can still make huge drums, but they bring it out and they ship the wood to Japan. And this tree is probably somewhere between 400 and 1,200 years old. The body of the drum is roughly 5.5 feet in diameter at its biggest point and 4.3 feet in diameter at the head. It weighs approximately 800 pounds, and on its stand, it weighs approximately 1,500 pounds. The sound of this drum is exceptional. The thundering sound of an Odaiko is something that sort of separates this style of playing from other styles of taiko playing because the drum is so big. And to be able to play again on a drum this big is something that I'm very fortunate to be able to do. Now, as I'm playing, what I want to do is to be able to evoke the spirit of this drum, to call forth the textures and the richness of the sound, the breadth of the different kinds of sounds that this drum can make. But I also want to be able to express my own character and to show something of my technical skill as a taiko player, but also something, what comes out deep inside of me when I'm up against the wall. So in Japan, this style of playing is a narrative style of playing very often. Where in North America, this Odaiko playing is very often based on a style popularized by the San Francisco Taiko Dojo called tsunami, where people get up and play roughly 2-minute solos as hard as they can with as much spirit as they can in order to sort of show the very, very best in an instant. And in more traditional style of, this more traditional style of Odaiko drumming, you build up, you slowly start to build up to push yourself to the point where you've given pretty much everything you have to give. And at that point, that is usually in Japan what the audience comes to see. The drummer hitting that wall and pushing through it. So again, I'm hoping to show you a little bit of both. And the history behind this piece is that there were 2 villages on either side of a river in a time of drought. And as they didn't want to go to war and have a lot of people die unnecessarily fighting over the water, they decided that their 2 taiko players, the 2 village taiko players would go head to head and the first person to quit their village would have to leave. And it said that they went for 3 days. Well, I don't have 3 days to play for you, but I'm going to try and show sort of the spirit that one would bring when they're up against something challenging and fierce. And through playing, I hope to inspire and empower you. So, Odaiko. So that's Odaiko. That was okay. I see people applauding. And I know I started a little bit late, and I did want to do a little bit of Yatai bayashi for you, but
We would love that if you could, Tiffany Sensei.
all right. Yeah, so let me get this set up where you can see. So the really fun thing about Yatai in a traditional show is that, let me get down here, is that is that very often in the classic Ondekoza Kodo show, you'd have the Odaiko player jump down and play Yatai Bayashi right after they did their solo, which is, partly to show how badass they are, but also it's a great push at the end. This piece is supposed to exemplify the rushing of waves as they come into the shore and hit rocks and go splashing back. If this was a traditional festival piece, not as visual, not as much of a call to be expressive in that way, the way they do when they attempt to play this on stage. And I'm just going to go through the main pattern once with a short repeat and show you, hopefully, my body exemplifying a trip I just took recently to see the Pacific Ocean, to see the rushing waves come into the shore and splash away. So, Chichibu style Yatai Bayashi. So again, Yatai Bayashi, Saitama Prefecture, Chichibu Yomatsuri Festival, as adapted for the stage by Zaon de Kozan, later Kodo, performed for you, hopefully evoking the power and beauty of the Pacific. These are hard times for a lot of people, facing a lot of challenges, and I hope with this little bit of playing that I have gladdened your heart, brought a little bit of joy and a little bit of power so that we can face what's going on and we can stand up and make our voices heard and sort of hang in there and protect each other, be there for each other. A lot of AAPI violence directed towards folks, and we are the ones. It's our time to stand up, and it's our time to make a difference. So thank you, UC Davis Bakatu, Taiko, for inviting me here today. Thank you for all the work that you do in building community and creating this incredible opportunity for people to experience Taiko. And thanks for dealing with my technical difficulties. And I hope you have a really wonderful Sakura Matsuri. And please take care and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tiffany Sensei. Everyone, please, round of applause for Tiffany Tamaribuchi from Sacramento Taiko-dan, as well as Jodaiko International Women's Ensemble and Ondeko, Katsugi Ondeko. Yeah, many hats, very, very skilled, talented player. For all our collegiate taiko players out there, I hope you can take Tiffany Sensei's words to heart to study the traditions and the meanings of songs to engage with the flashy and the new age, but also to learn about the past and the history of the tradition as well. I think we can all take Tiffany's words and calling for AAPI communities to stand up and to face the moment ahead with our traditions, with our with our communities together. Let's go on and face this. Yeah, thank you so much, Tiffany Sensei. Such a powerful performance, and definitely gladdens our hearts in a time like this. Thank you so much.